Hello, beautiful people. How are you? Jamboni Saseni Bonju. Bonju, guys. How are you doing today? Guys, you know I'm so excited, eh? I'm excited because this is the second video I'm shooting this week. That means I'm back. I'm back. There's no more excuse. Actually, I realized I've been giving myself excuses. I'm in the jumbo dishes thing. I'm doing my business on the side. This is also my hobby. I love videos. I love recording. And I'm so happy that I'm back. And thank you so much for tuning in. For those who are coming back again, thank you so much for believing in me. Thank you. It's because of you guys that I create content. I try to see what can I speak about. And for those who are new in my channel, I would like to welcome you to this family. In my channel, I motivate and I inspire. Actually, if you just don't know, my name is Lea Mogore Dittman. Lea Mogore Dittman, and I motivate and I inspire, not because I've made it, but because you and me, if we continue like this, one motivating the other, one inspiring the other, we are going to make it to the other side of life where it's so fun, so much happiness, freedom, liberation, everything is over there. And that's the reason why I said, you know what, I'm gonna be the domino. And that's why I started this channel with a lot of fun. Guys, there is nothing I love like recording. I love recordings. I love doing podcasts. There are things I just love. I even have a small studio over there. I need to start doing my podcasts like officially, like professionally. Not that one I just sit kwa bed, alafu I take my phone and start talking. I have a real studio, a real one, eh? I mean it. So guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm so glad. Today it's going to be loving. Actually, if you realize my speed is a bit down because I'm speaking about something that is very calming when it's right, and it's about love. For those who don't know, I was married before, and unfortunately we failed. My ex-husband and I failed, and the marriage had to come to an end. I thank God, because hardly, how long was I alone? Able, let me remember, because it wasn't long. Actually, after I left, my story is very long. I don't think I would like to speak about that today. It was not so good because I had to even find shelter where women get like help, and I stayed there for 3 months. I remember after I left and being in that place, I think after 3 months, I thought I need to start dating again. Imagine that fast. Not because I'd healed. No, I wanted to overlap the season. I didn't want to like sit there and look back and wonder, because I knew it wasn't going to work again. We had done a lot of therapies. I think over 4 years we had done a therapy, marriage therapy, and it wasn't working. So I knew if I don't overlap that, I might tend to go back, because that I did a lot of times. I was in a very abusive marriage, and when I left the last time, I knew I'm not coming back like I used to. So I knew I need to date again. But one thing was very clear to me. I have to check the person that I'm going to date this time. You know, when you go to a certain restaurant and eat maybe minced beef, alafu you go home and have that tummy pain, and you know what happens after all that. Would you go back to the same place the next time and eat the same meal? I think I wouldn't. I would try maybe something else, or go to another restaurant, or try to find out why I actually felt bad. And I knew I didn't want somebody of the age of my ex-husband. I wanted somebody older, and I got him through a dream. I knew he was the man, and until today we are celebrating 13 years of no abuse, 13 years of happiness. Of course, we have our ups and downs. Kwanza me, hey, but my husband has proved to me, with understanding and compromise, nothing is impossible. Guys, I would like to speak about love, about marriage, and I'm going to go more on the business side, how marriage has contributed to the stability of my business, how the love I get at home, be it from my kids, my husband, and from our au pairs, people who live with us, how much it has that, you know, this is where I live, this is my home, this is my castle. When I come back from work, how important it is that where you go back and call home is comfortable for you, not only for business, even for those who are employed. I believe a happy home can tell it all when you go to work. And I want to thank God, first of all, for having blessed me with this second marriage. Guys, don't tell me now God was happy when I divorced. No, I don't want to get into that. But I want to thank him for having given me another chance to find love. Actually, when my first marriage broke, I was fearing that, you know, I have people in my village, they were married once, and after they went back to their parents and they became old over there. And actually, I used to wish that it doesn't happen to me. When my marriage broke, I had this fear, like, will I ever get married? Because I wish to have another kid. Would I ever get another kid? And then I had the fear, if I have another kid, so I'm going to have 2 kids from different fathers. Guys, let me tell you, nothing is odd as long as you're happy. I don't even realize my kids are from two different fathers. I don't feel it. I don't see it. They don't even feel it. Of course, we do speak about it and they know, but it's never a topic in our family because there is one thing that came over and ruled, and that's love. The love we have for one another, the respect we have for one another. And I thank God for having given me a husband who never even abuses me. Leave a slap, eh? Because the other one, it was boom, 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 eh? Hey, that guy boxed me. Carlos, if you get to watch this video, just know it is okay. I'm not doing this because of wanting to intimidate you or anything. I just want to inspire somebody out there and motivate somebody out there. There is a greener side on the other side. If you're going through abuse right now, try to find help. I wouldn't tell you what to do to live, but I would say find help. Just know if it's something you want to live with. Of course, I thought we live together for some time and I kind of thought it's normal. Like when he hits me, maybe I'll run away for a week, I'm at 3 days, and then I'll come back, and then 3 weeks, 4 months, 1 month, whatever, was peace, and then he hit again. And I remember there is one police who told me, when a man hits you once, he'll hit again. I said, hey, he was right, eh? It became like a hobby, eh? Like when we have a misunderstanding. Actually, I think it's out of weakness. That's a weakness. When you find somebody hitting you, they can't be able to talk. It's a long story. We came to know why all that used to happen, and that's the reason why I even ended up making my mind to leave. And I'm glad I did it. Guys, I want to let you know one thing. There is nothing so good like when I come back home and my husband is happy to receive me, ask me how was your day, how was business, and there is nothing so bad of the opposite side. Ebu, tell me, just tell me one thing. Do you have that husband who tells you when you come back home, where are you late, where were you, before even they ask you how are you? Ama you just come in, the laugh with their mouth is on the other side, or even your wife. Do you come back home and she's already so mad because you're late? Especially if you're self-employed. Guys, let me tell you, this thing makes me, of course I do call my husband sometimes when I think we are going to have a longer day or I'm going to work maybe a bit longer. I call him and tell him I'm going to be a bit late, or if it's the au pair or even my boys, I call them and tell them mom will come half an hour later. It is normal. But there is nothing so nice and so calming like when I come home and I realize everything is okay. Because you can come back home and laugh, you think, so where am I going to start? Because even the kids sometimes get influenced, eh? Like, now look, mom is late or dad is late. So when you come in, the kids are already mad at you. Aki, let me tell you, you'll not do this for long. You'll end up maybe hating your job or even having to leave. Like me, if we say we are closing at 1:30, we usually serve lunch. Actually, for those who don't know, I'm in the food business. I run food trucks. I have 3 trucks at the moment: the Big 5, the Jumbo, and the Chewy. Initially it was the Swara, the antelope, but we renamed it to the Big 5, one of the Big 5, because that's a story that I'm trying to bring out with the Big 5 animals, because my first truck was the Big 5, so we said let's just make a family first before we can start taking other animals. And it's the Chewy. And I do business. We do serve lunch at companies Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, and we do street food festivals. I do catering for weddings and birthdays. You can check me out on Facebook, Lea Muguremburu, or Jumbo African Dishes on Instagram, on Facebook. I'm there. I'm on Twitter. You can follow me. It will be so nice. And guys, let me tell you, if I say we are closing at 12:30, at 1:30, and 5 minutes before, let's say 2-3 clients come, we are having sun, the weather is nice, we have our tables over there, people want to eat near the truck, we have music, that nice atmosphere out of the office for just an hour or half an hour, whatever time they have for their break. How would I know? Like, imagine I'm coming back home maybe to read, have my time, and how bad is it if I have to rush my clients because I know if I don't do this, if I come home, I'm going to get a mad husband, I'm a mad wife, because that's what would happen. Yeah, I know one thing: if you're gaining at work, like you're winning at work, and losing at home, you're losing it all. These things have to balance, your job and your home. And how nice is it when I know I can call my hubby and tell him, actually I don't, imagine we are past that, I don't call my husband like, now 2 clients come, I'm like, oh, I'll be late. I thank God he's also working, because I think idle people also have a problem. But if we had something that we had planned and we are supposed to maybe leave at 2 o'clock and I'm going to be late, I'll tell him I'm going to be late because clients came in and I can't chase them. They have to wait for them to eat. Actually, that's my joy. There is nothing I like when people sit around our trucks and eat. So I'm just trying to say there is this stability that a happy marriage has given me to be able to become an entrepreneur. Because if it was not for this, I think I would not have the strength, leave alone the strength. So you need to come to my job and find my vibes. I don't pretend. Somebody can think like, how comes I'm always so hyper, always laughing, positive vibes? That's what I'm all about. My job, once I enter that place, not even when I enter, when I just wake up, I'm well, no pain, nothing. I just thank God, and I look forward to meeting my clients. I look forward to meeting my workers, just to make a nice day. And I would like to encourage you, just in case you have a husband or a wife who works long, or somebody who comes sometimes late because of situations that they can't avoid, try to give them a warm welcome when they come home. Guys, I'm telling you, if you don't, you can imagine if I'm driving like those 10 minutes to come home. Thank God my job is not so far from home, like the trucks are just around our area. You can imagine if I'm driving and I'm already planning how I'm going to, that's how even people start cheating. When you're always put under pressure, you come home and then you start getting all these blames. I know this thing messed my first marriage. I always had to have an explanation of everything I did. When I got into this new relationship, that it's almost 13 years, I'm calling it new, but guys, let me tell you, when I got in, I knew. Thank God I didn't get married to somebody younger, because I think even respect, although even young people, I mean, if my husband was young and he respected me, I would respect him too. There is nothing I love so much like my husband can just do that what he wants to do, and I don't have to keep asking, of course, not out of the love boundaries. But I can't go questioning if he comes out of work and he thinks of meeting his friends to go for a beer or two or have their own time. Why not? The same thing I do with myself. Of course, these days my life has changed. I'm doing things totally different than I did them some years ago. I'm doing them in a way that it's so much comfortable for me. I think before I was a person's pleaser, I used to do things more for others than for myself. And I realized I'm having so much time. You know, people look at my videos, people look at my pictures, whatever I post on social media, and people ask, when do you even have time? Guys, I have enough time. I don't work every day, and I don't work from morning to evening. I work like during the lunch breaks, and that's 3 times a week. And guys, believe me, this time that I got extra, if it's before, I would be calling up and back and forth. Where are you looking for sites to go out to meet people? And even in these talks, there's nothing progressive, nothing that used to help me to get better, because that's why I even walked away. And I realized this free time that I have, like right now, my kids are not yet back from school. I can vlog, I can record a video. If I don't, I'll go down and do my sports. If I don't, I'll sit and read, or I'll go cook. I'll find something to do. And these are things I never did before. And with this, I realize I'm creating that warm home, that home where trust lives. There are no gaps of mistrust, because this also is another topic. I'll have to speak about trust in a relationship, in a marriage, because for my marriage to break, I let in somebody. I let somebody come into my marriage. I went to the UK, and when I came back, she had already told my ex-husband everything. And from there, he could never trust me. For the years that we lived together, he used to go back to that day when he was told and told and told. And I realized there was nothing we could actually mend after so many years, having to go back to the same blame every day. And that's the reason why blame games, guys, I'm going to find a way of how I'm going to categorize this, because I would like to speak about every aspect in marriage. There are things I've also done wrong. During the pandemic, there are 1-2 things that I did, because I thought maybe I need to try them, and I just came to realize they weren't healthy. I walked out of them. Guys, let me tell you, there is nothing so nice like when you own a problem. When you know I'm the one who is failing and I got the answer, than when you think, oh, my husband, he has to do this, he has to change this. He's not a kid, he's a grown-up. When he owns the mistake, when he owns the problem, he can be able to solve it. Guys, let me tell you, you can't go telling your wife, you know what, I don't want you to work with so-and-so. She has to know that so-and-so is not good for her and not even good for your marriage. And if you have a friend who you feel like is not, this relationship is not so healthy for you, and even to make matters worse for your marriage, guys, let me tell you, you'd rather walk away. For me, my relationships, my husband has to be comfortable in them. Before, it was like, after all, they are my friends. But don't forget, after having that time with them, I come back home, I have the time with my husband. So these friends that I have outside, it has to be a relationship that would be comfortable for him, something that would help me grow, because if I grow, our marriage is going to grow. Because you can't go out there, get poisoned, and expect to come home, You have that one friend who tells you things against his husband, always gossiping his husband with you. What I wouldn't do, I wouldn't want you to come and do it with me. I don't speak about my husband to other people. I don't. I did it before in the first marriage, guys, and that's why I tell you this is going to be a very long journey. We are going to be speaking this maybe the whole of this year. I don't know, but there is no way I'll not speak about my husband and expect you to come and speak about your husband to me. If it's not something we are going to speak that is going to help us to find a solution, why are we speaking about it? Do you have those friends in your life? This I would really like to hear in the comment section. That whenever your husband, your boyfriend tells you something you feel, you have to tell them. So my question is, if you have these friends, have they ever given you a solution that made you move to the next level positively? Do you have them? I can imagine, I would like to know. Because let me tell you one thing, the moment that friendship breaks with that friend of yours, that you've been telling everything about your husband, be very careful. I'm not lying to you. Be very, very careful. Because it could turn around and get back to him against you. A friend that you thought was really good, you weren't talking about. Actually, let me give you a tip. Watch my video. I think it was in 2020, beginning of 2020. I made a video about marriage and friendship. Go watch that video. Don't you ever sit with your friends to speak about your marriage. Don't you ever. They'll not help you. Really. I know people say, you need to have a good friend. Okay, maybe it's different. I found my friend in my husband. So you can imagine, whom do I need to speak about him? I'll speak to him about him. I'll tell him, you know what, honey, I don't like this. But there are so many things that I like about him. He loves what I do. He motivates me. He pushes me. He admires what I do. You know, he challenges me. And I like it. And that's the reason why I think it is really important to build a healthy relationship. Because when that relationship is healthy, you'll come to realize you don't even need to have that confident outside that you'll be telling your stuff. Why are you telling your stuff outside when you can tell the person you live with? Like my son Amani, he's turning 14. You can imagine we've become the best of friends. We talk so much. We talk like really much. And I love it. He's my baby, you know. I don't know. I came to fear this thing of telling somebody about myself. Somehow I have so many bad experiences that I feel itakurudia. It will come back to you. Watch out. Make your home comfortable. Sit with your husband. Sit with your boyfriend. Try to solve stuff. And guys, let me tell you, you'll always know when it's going to work and when it's not going to work. But one thing that you have to do, you have to invest in that relationship. I invested a lot of patience. Me, I never had patience. Me, I'm a very fast person, even today. But the speed is different. When it comes to business, I'm very fast. But when it comes to trying to understand, God has really, really, really helped me. He has really changed me. I know there are people praying for me, my mom out there. I know. My kids, even my husband. I told him, be praying for me. And I be praying for you. As you pray for me, I pray for you. We realize we are growing strong every day. This guy, imagine I can't leave him. Do you want to see him? Don't leave this channel. I'll try to talk to him. He doesn't like all this social media stuff and all this, you know, like when everybody's on him, he doesn't like it. But I'll try maybe one day to ask him if we can make a video, if maybe we can make even a podcast, and he can just try to say things that maybe he saw in me that made him believe he'll make it, because he was married before. I'm not the first wife, I'm the second one, and he's my second husband. So we knew after those relationships those two relationships that broke, we had to make it right. And I thank God because he brought me another son. I have a bonus son. He's 29 and I'm really in love with him. He's a friend. He looks like the daddy so much. So I have 3 sons, my 2 own and my bonus son. And funny enough, this thing works really nice. We don't even realize all these things. But I know if I never made that step of saying I want to change stuff, I would be having even more problems. Because then I've left a marriage, a relationship where we had 1 kid. I got into a relationship where there is even another kid. So you can imagine if I came with this mindset and pulled all those blame games into this new relationship, where would I be today? This relationship has helped me stabilize, and I can feel it. I can see it in my business, and I know without this, my business wouldn't be where it is today. Guys, this is just the beginning. It was the opening of this love journey story. We are going to be speaking about this. Guys, you can't believe it. I'll be breaking it anyhow until we get to the end. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what I do, thumbs up. You can leave a comment down below. Me, I love reading, and I promise you guys I'll always answer to your comments. Of course, I promise I will. Guys, share this video. Maybe you have a friend. Sorry, I had to scratch, you know, when it's itching, you scratch, because that's what messes stuff, You have that itch and you keep, until it becomes a wound. Scratch, maybe there is something trying to go in and you can pull it out at that particular time. A story of another day. So guys, maybe you have a friend who blames his husband or wife for everything. Your husband comes late, you always have a reason to go sit and ask why. You know, if you let your husband or wife come from work and you start all those games of blaming why, how will you eat dinner smiling? That's how people eat. Like, and he talks to you like, what? Yani, Aki, don't let anger live in you. Find a way you are going to find that joy. Let it dominate in your heart. Guys, I've not made it, but there are things I can tell you. It is a no-go. I stopped. And I can feel it. It has given me so much inner peace. And guys, let me hear what you think. And until then, stay tuned and goodbye.